Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Happy Saturday. We got the Lawn Boy model 10739. Body says it's a 2016. The Kohler engine says 2015. 27th day, 12th month of 2015 on the engine. So they pushed it over into 2016 when they finally assembled it all. This all-wheel drive unit, we already looked at it. I didn't have the right blade on it. I just put a quick blade on it to see if it would have compression. It kicked off but rattled like hell. The center hole here is too big. I stole one off of a 21-inch Lawn Boy, just a front wheel drive, not an all-wheel drive, but it's got the right size bolt hole. So we're going to put this on temporarily to see if it starts. I'm going to juice it. We had to juice it, and I'll show you a temporary Toro wheel I put on the front here. Because Toro and Lawn Boy are together, the only difference is tread pattern between the Toro and the Lawn Boy. The Lawn Boy has more or less squares, and the Toro tread is different. So let's continue to put this on. Dyno's helping me. Clucky took the morning off. I guess I wasn't paying him enough, feeding him enough. I don't know. He's not going to cluck around today, which is unfortunate. So yesterday, Friday, I ended up going to Lakeland and spent time with my daughter, son-in-law, and my granddaughter. I had a great time. The trip was nice. My son-in-law, myself, and my granddaughter walked the neighborhood and picked up Halloween trash. Then we met my daughter at a job and brought her lunch. So that's something I wouldn't have been able to do, working 55 to 60 hours at the Brotherhood of the Browns. So I'm happy to be retired and able to do things like that in the future. Speaking of that, I got a receipt in the mail today. I'm surprised. From Pittsburgh. It was from the pension fund. They had deposited my pension check already. I didn't think it would be this quick because I only gave them 30 days notice. I should have given them 90 days. So they must have been really anxious to get me out of the system. I would have waited till December for a check. It didn't bother me. I'm not starving. But they seem to be overly anxious, which is fine. So it's all turning out good. I'm just dealing with Frontier. That was a shit show this week, but I'm dealing with them. They canceled my first appointment and then showed up this week. Said my box was too old for the internet, and you know how that goes. They want you to upgrade, pay more money, get the newer box. They don't even make what they had before. Yada, yada, yada. So let me just pull this over and see if it's rattling still. Oh, good. I don't feel a rattle. We knew we checked the oil, but as a precaution, let's check it again. And then we're going to move over to the Toro Recycler with the Tecumseh. I got the package deal, 30 for both of these turds. I put 20 value on the Lawn Boy and 10 on the Toro. And we'll discuss what I found with the Toro next. Okay, we got oil up to the full mark. I need that 50 plus 9. We need a little help here. Oh yeah. Trying some dark roast. Costco Kirkland brand dark roast. Okay, this is the one I recall. It had some leftover gunk in the tank, like varnishy leftover fuel. So there's nothing in it now. I'm just going to take a screwdriver and see if this is cakey. And that's not bad. Nothing's loosening up, so we kind of know we need a carb clean on this because it fired off before. Let me pull on it. Okay, kicked off. That sounded so smooth. I was so worried when it was clanking the other day, but I figured it was that blade being too loose. So, I mean, this thing sounds fantastic. It sounds so good. I'm going to throw some qualified non-ethanol fuel in it, see what it does, and then move over to the Tecumseh powered recycler. Okay, that should be enough to get it to start. These Kohlers do not have a inline valve like the Hondas, so the fuel is flowing. Did not come with a filter and cover. I mentioned that before. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, still nothing. So if the tank's crappy, the bowl's probably crappy, so we're going to have to throw this one up on my adjustable lift table and clean the carburetor. Start install. So I got like I said, I got a Toro, an old ball Toro tire just to move this thing around, but it's a 5-spoker. It's just that the Toro pattern's different. If this was a good tire, it'd be like V's. These are square cuts, not that it matters. So I got to get a blade for this because I don't have any 21s like that. All I got is 22s for the larger recyclers. So yes, this is going to be a good one on the 2016. Let's move you over and discuss the Toro. So like I said, I gave 10 in my value for this. This had the broken plastics on it. I took off the recoil here and tried to really goop it up. Made in China. This might be aftermarket. I don't know if they originally bought the OEMs from China. They may have, but I oiled it up as much as I could. I squirted some oil into the little spring tab hole here. Oiled that up. Oiled up as much as I could, and all it's doing is pulling with no retraction. So this thing's dead. So I had another GTS 6.5, same plastics, better condition. The spring on this one works. So I just use one bolt to hold this down, put the recoil on. I was checking the oil. So this may be an after effect, this bad recoil. Sitting out in the rain, this is another pour design where the cup will fill up with water and it'll rust. So we're going to find out here in a minute if this was from just sitting unused, or did this make it the throwaway machine. So I do see liquid in there. Let me grab my baster, turkey baster, and we'll take a sample, because we didn't even look at this on that first video. I concentrated on the lawn boy. So I got an empty can here. Hopefully I hear from some of my delivery scrappers. They know Saturday I'm typically at home, but now I'm home all the time. Okay, 100% water. Maybe 0.5% fuel. So we already know. All I'm doing is pulling up water here. How did that happen? Was this a flood victim? I don't think I've taken straight water. Usually it's maybe 90% water. This is straight water. There's not a bit of gas in there. I could drink this. If this was Hurricane Milton and I was thirsty and FEMA had not provided drinking water, I'd drink this. Yeah. I could put a little gas on top of this and you'd see the gas floating, but I'm not going to waste gas. Trust me, it's all water. So I guess we're going to have to nitro to kick it off. We automatically know what the deal is. So I was putting the handle up. The handle was folded down. It was folded here, so I put it all back together. I oiled up the safety brake cable that was stiff. I came to just pull back on the traction control and the cable broke down there somewhere, so I need another cable. I ended up killing that, so we can't test the drive system. I'm gonna have to order another cable. So while we're down here, should we look at the model number? Okay, it's on the other side. I don't get a lot of Tecumsehs in because, like I said, they stopped making engines. I think they just do lawn tractor transmissions. Data manufacturer, specifications, family. It's the model LV195 Echo Alpha. What do we got? Could be an 03. I believe it's an 03. Displacement 195cc. Engine family 4 Tango Papa X-Ray Sierra period 195 18 Charlie. Conforms with all regulations, blah 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 blah. Okay, so if it's a Toro, it's going to have their number, and there it is. Yeah, we already looked at that on the first one, 20007. So it could be a 2004 Serial is 24, usually the second digit, so 2004. 240005256. Turo, beautiful Bloomington, Minnesota. Conforms to all safety. Call consumer service number, toll free 1888. Too bad, assembled in Mexico. So the only thing we can do is pop this thing off with nitro, which we're going to do right now. So I wonder why this old turd took a dump. Did they have water in their portable gas tank can and just contaminated this thing? Or was this a flood victim, do you think? Oh, that's considered unhealthy. This is one of the caked up Tecumseh filters I've ever seen. I'd bet 10 cents this is the original filter. It's got Tecumseh brand with a model number, made in Mexico. I'd bet a cup of motivation this thing is the original air filter from the factory. Okay, I'm gonna juice it. Oh, the other thing is, before we do that, notice it didn't have a plug when it came in, so I took the liberty of stealing the plug off of the other 6.5. It's a Romeo Juliet 19 Hilo X-ray. And the other machine, I put what I think I paid for it, but it's faded away. So the other machine that I stole it off of was a scrapper buy. Okay, that's tight. Snaky, you hold on for dear life because we're gonna test this thing. Okay, there we go. The best we're gonna do is see if it's got compression. If it fires after the carb clean and it doesn't rattle, I'll order the drive cable. Should be a number on this, or I'll just look up the model number online. I don't see a model number on the cable. That's fine. Okay, I pushed it way into the intake. At least we know the engine model number. If I've got to get a whole new carb, I can smell the carb cleaner. Okay, started after a while. I did put oil in the cylinder to kind of loosen things up. With the plug out, I kind of was spinning the blade, so you saw the burn off there, but it did have a rattle, an engine rattle. So what's that all about? Should I invest any more time in this? Anything loose down here? Blade shot. the lift is all sandblasted and it's level with the rest of the blade. This one, the Toros have a lift on the back, the 3 wings. So that's shot, and I don't know, bent blade. With them so worn out, it's hard to tell if it's bent or just worn. Let me try to, I'll pick a mark on the side wall. Bear with me. Looks okay. So what's that squeaking? Oh, I know what it is. I don't have a clip on the safety, so the brake is just squealing past the flywheel as I'm turning the blade. So I got a big clip on the green machine. Let me move it over. Start this process over again. Good thing is you could still buy Tecumseh parts. They're not scarce. Okay. Check for the bent blade one more time. I got a better mark. Blade is not bent, so what's that rattling? Carb's got to be clean. Putting gas on top of water in the tank isn't going to do anything for me. These Tecumsehs are kind of funny to do the carbs. You got to take off the 2 bolts for the muffler to reach the 1 bolt. You end up taking the whole manifold off. Is the easiest way to do it. So let me pull on it. Gave it another squirt. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no rattle that time. Maybe it was just shaking itself loose from sitting so long, but I didn't hear a rattle. So 2 good machines. I'm not really disappointed in the Toro GTS 6.5. I'll probably move the beauty ring over to the other machine. The other machine has no rust. This one here is kind of peeling in certain places. So I'll just have the black top, and maybe I'll take a walk around. I think I've got 2 old Tecumsehs in my junk section. I'm going to see if I can grab a recoil off of one of those. This one here, like I said, it's not springing back. So it's DOA. So there you go. The other thing I may do, depending on how I can get this thing to look, is maybe put a couple of wheels on the front, something with traction. Both of these are slicks. Depending how it turns out, if it looks crappy and like a cheap machine, got some paint peeling there. If I can't make it look nice, it's just going to go out the door as a cheap, older, self-propelled. Everybody's asking me for self-propelled during the season. They don't want to spend a lot. This one here would be a good candidate for next year as a cheapie. Maybe 130, 150 for this. as a working self-propelled, it would sell, because I'm getting 250 for the nicer Turos with the bag, and people are buying them left and right. Nobody's squawking. They're selling. So 150, no bag, a little roughness here, the paint. This one would be a good one to dump. So again, happy Saturday. Thanks you guys for coming out. I'm going to continue to motivate. If anything comes over the driveway from scrappers, I'll inform you in a timely fashion. I want you to tip your waitress and wait staff if you go out today. Dino's excited. Adios, amigos. Take a bite out of crime.